Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm your boy Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, and let me tell you, I'm getting really sick of Techno-Phobia. I think these days is about time that us tech guys started standing up and making a stand for it. Now, within the millennial generation, a little bit before, we have many people who resided in basements who didn't like to hang out with people outside of the basement. And they weren't bad people, they just didn't like to hang out with the people outside. Let's face it, we all need to put on this mask, this face, when we go to parties, when we go outside. And this mask, this face, is not us. This mask is something that we can all use as a middle point to get along with each other. Because if we were all what we had under the mask all the time, all of our extremities, all of our whatever we want to say, if we all said whatever we wanted to say at any given time and did whatever we wanted to do, we wouldn't get along. So we meet in the middle. Now, some people can't handle that. Some people don't understand that, actually. Some people just don't get that. Socializing is a big thing to them. And the social game is a big thing to them. So a lot of them stay in the basement, and God bless them, because our technology has advanced for it. We have a lot of people who are out there that just like to party when they're young. That happens. And we got a lot of people who just like to stay in their basement and just like to do tech stuff. And God bless them. And God bless them. So then we got these old folks going around. They're like, I don't care about this technology. We should bring in, we should make fast lanes on the internet. We should change the internet. This thing that I don't understand and didn't even care about 5 years ago and 10 years ago made fun of the kids about. Man, that's interesting. So these days in Canada, we got a lot of groups standing up, like feminism and gender, what do they call it? Gender fluidism. So you can be any gender that you want. Well, I want to take that one step further, because I know a lot of gender fluid people that are totally social and don't like techno people that sit in the basement. I'm going to give you a new idea here. Being a basement dweller is a choice in life. Maybe these basement dwellers choose to have internet relationships. And if you choose to look down on somebody because they have this, that makes you a bad person. Now, what I've seen a lot in high school is girls that went for the biggest dicks because they were the most confident, and chicks dig confidence, therefore chicks like dinks. So they all go off to college and everything, and the girls decide they don't like these guys anymore. They decide all guys are bad because they went out with a jerk, and then they decide, you know what, I'm going to be a lesbian, and I'm going to take humanities courses, and I'm going to be an activist. I'm going to be an activist full time. I'm going to make money being an activist too, maybe. And all at the same time, while this individual is being an activist, the whole time there was someone else that totally loved them that just happened to be a computer guy. That just happened to be a computer guy. And just because he wasn't confident, just because he wasn't that dick, he didn't trigger that thing in women. And ladies, I wouldn't say this if I didn't see it, if I didn't know that it happened. I have too many female friends that just go out with jerks because they have confidence, and that seems to be the thing. You get that serotonin, it brings you up, and I just see so much of it. And ladies, I gotta say, you're not all silly. Some of you is, but man, you ladies out there that are intelligent, you see this stuff and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you're all like that, but you know enough of it. I'm sure it shocks you too. Wow. So anyways, so now we're at this point where the people who stayed in the basement have their tech companies going and whatnot. They are in tech companies, and these women that they wanted to date, who hate men now because they chose the jerks, see the tech industry and decide they can't get into it because or see the tech industry and like, there's no female representation in that industry. That's not a good thing. Why is there no female representation? Get into the industry. Jump into the industry. And you can't say that you can't get into the industry because these people aren't going to accept you. These are geeks that lived in their basement all the time. These aren't people you're going to be getting out of the office and going out to drink with, because they don't drink. And you want to know what happens when you get a geek who's a basement dweller who's never drank out into a public environment where they drink? Very bad things, because they're not used to being drunk. And they see all the idiots out there who get drunk and do the dumbest things, so they do it on company time, and guess what? They get fired. Can we just have a little bit of sympathy for the geek every now and then? I'm sorry, there are a lot of IT people that are assholes, but that's not all of them, and I see a lot of us getting a bad rap, and I'm really getting sick of this technophobia thing. Oh, I don't care about it all until I do care about it, because my pictures are out there online. Christ, I get people don't like computers, but do you want to go back to a time before we had calculators? Seriously, because that's all a computer is, a calculator. Everyone's like, oh, there's so many dark things out there. Well, guess what? Those things still existed. They just weren't in front of us so much. I've went through this conversation with people before, and from listening to the CBC, I heard stories of how things used to be. You know how it used to be? According to the CBC, used to walk downtown Toronto. Used to go into a little bookstore or something like that. You knew the person. Same like online. There's a dark web. The dark web exists only because it's a reflection of us. Without us, there would be no dark web. Dark web's not this thing that just suddenly became evil and needs to be purged. The internet is a reflection of us. The dark web is a reflection of us. It's what we put on it. It's not like there was no darkness and then all of a sudden the internet came and there it was. Nah, the internet was the new place. The internet was a new field. We went out to that field and we built what we wanted to on it. It wasn't freaking aliens. It wasn't freaking cats. It was people. This dark web is a part of us. And we need to look at it and we need to deal with it. It's never going away. It's always going to be there. Its face will change, but there's always going to be a dark side to us. And the darker we get on there, the more light is going to be exposed to it. But at the end of the day, it seems like women are the ones that hold the, what do the social justice warriors call it these days? They wield the truth because they're beautiful, because they have vaginas, basically. And while that does sound totally stupid, if y'all are open-minded, we can all think of situations where that's happened. There's definitely been a lot of women get really popular just because they have a vagina and just because they're beautiful. It definitely happens. Virtue signaling. Virtue signaling. Psh. Virtue. So we got a lot of virtue signaling going on. Anyways, we got to get over this stuff. It's part of us. It's part of us. There's a new field out there. We can make money. We can harvest. We can do things. It's part of us. We made it. We just figured out how to use the tools. The tools were out there the whole time. We just had to figure out how to bring them together. And now we did. And now we made us out there. And that's how she goes. So get used to it, Grandpa. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it goes. I wish it wasn't sometimes. But it's how she goes. Sometimes she goes. Sometimes she don't go. That's how she goes today. And that's how she goes. Have a good one, folks. Take care. Take care of each other.